You are listening to the Pacers Report with Mike Rich and John Robertson, only on the Central Indiana Sports Report. Yay!
Yes.
Welcome back, Pacers fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for a special edition of the Pacers Report with Mike Rich here to catch up what's going on with the Pacers through 3 games. Of course, them being 0-3. Before we get to all of that, Mike, I just wanted to let everybody know that later today we have IU, Purdue, and World Series reports, and we have a Colts report and our high school football sectional previews and predictions on Thursday. Friday night is all about high school sports. We clear the schedule for high school football, so we will not have a Pacers reaction after Friday's game against the Hawks. But Mike and I will get back to regular Pacers reactions after the World Series and high school football. For now, we'll continue to do sporadic Pacers reports. And once the World Series ends, we'll be more regular with the reaction podcast. Then when football ends, we'll pretty much do it after every podcast with Mike and John Robertson, who we expect to be on here in a minute. Mike, I think the first 3 games can be summarized by seeing a lot of potential, a very professional basketball team that plays hard every night, but you can also see it slipping away.
Yeah, I think they come to play. I mean, the other night, Siakam just had a hell of a game. I mean, he gave everything he had. Just doesn't have the pieces around him. I think right now the injury bug is really kicking our ass, but it's not stopping them from playing. It's a next man up mentality, and I think they're going to come and play every night. They're going to be ready to do anything they can to win the game. You just hope some of these guys start coming back. It can only take so much of starter after backup after backup after backup going down. I mean, you know, we're digging deep, signing, is it Mac McClung? The guy averages a half a point a game.
Well, Mike, Andrew Nembhard shoulder, Benedict Mathurin toe, Obi Toppin hamstring, TJ McConnell hamstring, Johnny Furphy foot, Talon Peter groin. That is what James Wiseman waived. This is
Jones back. It goes on and on and on. But again, I think Dennis, he's going to get some good minutes, and we're going to...
Probably not a good thing.
No. we could do our reaction for Friday now. I think I'm going to be... I'm not going to be frustrated. You just can't be. What is going on with these guys? You just can't help it because there's just way too many soft tissue issues and injuries. I looked up Michael Jordan because I was like, how many games did that man miss in his career? He missed 7 games other than the year that he broke his foot, and he played 64 games that year. The game was I think, a lot more physical, a lot more wear and tear on the body. I mean, he got the hell beat out of him every night. And for Reggie Miller, he missed 16 games in his career. And we're going to have players that are going to miss half a season. Today's player will sit 7 games just to rest during the season and without an injury.
And Andrew Nembhard, nothing you can do about that. That was a contact. No. We get all that. The Benedict Mathurin thing was his turf toe, probably not because of a poor routine or anything like that. But John, as I mentioned, John Robertson is joining us. It's a concerning trend that I know we've talked a little bit about, but it's also with the fever as well. And maybe a change needs to be made in that building.
I don't disagree with they need to at least look at it. Like when the same program basically is having this many injuries, it is very reminiscent of the fever season. I hate to keep saying that, but for those people that didn't follow the fever season at all, if there are Pacers fans that didn't follow the fever, this is exactly what they went through. And the fever played so much better than we expected. I think there's potential for the Pacers to have a similar narrative where they're playing above their pay grade and they're finding talent. Today, when they signed Mac McClung, I said, they may not win a lot of games, but they're going to be fun to watch. I like the pickup. I know he's not a big talent, but I think he's going to be entertaining to watch. And, the Pacers are at least going to win the dunk contest this year. So there's that. We got that going for us. I don't know. I think you do need to look at internally. Is there something going on with the training staff? I don't think it's just the Pacers that are experiencing this. If you look around the league, there's multiple teams that are struggling. I forget how many people were out for OKC, 3 or 4. There's a couple teams that have a lot, but this is just. I'm going to look at it as we kind of knew this season was a throwaway anyway. We did get a little bit of hope and a peak of excitement there for a minute when the preseason looked good and they were playing strong against OKC. But if we're really honest with ourselves, the season was never really going to be a championship run. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise where some of our – I'm just saying – I'm not saying tank. I am not saying tank.
No, I'm just saying having Andrew Nembhard out is not ever going to be good. He's still developing.
No, fair, but I'm just saying we get some of these young guys that are playing and practicing and getting some veteran minutes. So then next year, when the whole team's ready to rock,
I'm not anywhere near that mindset yet, John.
How long's Nembhard out for? I haven't seen the report.
They said that the MRI was promising, so I kind of thought he might be back by now. They are in Dallas on Wednesday, then home against Atlanta on Friday. I hope he's back because look. You can absorb a lot of injuries on this team. Andrew Nembhard's not one that you can.
No, you absolutely
They're not going to win. They're not going to beat anybody without it.
Nembhard and Siakam are 1-2, whichever way you want to flip it. Like they're the core of this team this year. I love Nesmith.
Siakam has some quality guys behind him, like Jarris Walker. You could put in there and play well behind Nembhard. Even if McConnell's there, you have McConnell and nobody else.
Right.
This loss to Nembhard out on top of Halliburton, they can't absorb it. It's impossible for them to do.
No, I agree with all that. The funny thing is, if you told me that Pascal was going to be the one who wasn't hurt at this point, I would have argued with you because that man falls on the floor more than anybody.
Every shot.
But he's so good. I don't even mean it as a negative. Like, he's so good at basketball and he's such a great player, but he makes me so nervous with how often he falls.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about him.
Okay.
Holy crap, has he been good?
He's been great.
Fantastic.
He's great.
I predicted coming into this year he'd have his best season ever, and through 3 games, there's no doubt about it. 26 points, 10.3 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.3 steals per game, shooting 46% despite being the go-to scorer much of the time, and 42% from the three-point line. That's something he's really gotten better at through the years.
Honestly, when he came here, I said he's going to be good, and I was excited to have him come, but I didn't realize that he was going to be this big of a piece. I was like, he's going to make us better, but he's become the team right now. Him, Nembhard, and Halliburton.
Yeah, I think it's another all-star year for Siakam, and can't argue the stats. And I, like you said, John, I worry every time that man falls to the ground. Age is going to catch up with him. Those bumps and bruises that hitting the ground at his height, that you just like, gosh, one of these times something's going to happen.
So speaking of Pascal as an all-star, if he does, he'll be on the international team, which I don't really love that change that they're doing to all-star game. I would like it to just be East versus West. I would love to just go back to East versus West, a 3-point contest, a skills challenge, and a dunk contest. Be done. And stop screwing with – we're way ahead of ourselves on that point.
Yes, we are.
When does the in-season tournament start?
Soon. Atlanta, I believe, on Friday. So let's talk about Benedict Mathurin, because that guy was looking like he was going to average 30 points a game. He is just an elite scorer. I'm not sure yet that he's still a great player. I'll figure that out in the next few years, but he is an elite scorer, like very few. And then, of course, now he's injured.
So I was going to say, if he comes back and he's playing the same way he was, do you like Mathurin as a pacer or as a piece to move to get more pacers?
I think everybody agrees he does not fit in. with this team as it is. And he is an awfully good player who could benefit somebody else. I think he'd look good. I think he'd look great with the Heat. In return for Bam Adebayo. Because I think he'd be the perfect final piece for the Pacers.
This is why I could never be a sports front office guy, because I get too attached. I get too attached to the player. I like him. As a person. Yeah, I agree with you. He's probably not the best. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree he's probably not the best fit, but as a front office guy, I could never move him. I just couldn't do it.
Well, then you would lose. I would trade any of them to anywhere in the world for a Pacers championship. And that includes you, Tyrese Halliburton. I would trade you for a Pacers championship so fast.
Well, who would? Okay, yeah, but that's an unfair question. If you're guaranteeing me a championship, would I trade anybody? Yes, absolutely. Because the end goal is a championship, and game theory dictates you do that. But no one guarantees.
Because we've never won one.
Yeah, but
if we had won one in the past, I might feel differently about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Benedict Mather, and I've loved him since he was a rookie. But there isn't a place on the starting lineup for him in the future, or on the payroll. I agree. He's going to be able to get close. He's going to get a pretty good contract out of this if he can come back and continue to average over 25 points a game. He's going to be able to kind of pick where he wants to go.
And he'd be great on a team that just needs one more score. Or imagine him on a bad team, how many points per game he could score.
I just hope that if he gets moved, he doesn't turn heel on us like everybody else, like Miles.
I think everyone kind of understands at this point that he's a really talented guy who just does not fit in with this roster or this team's philosophy. I don't think there shouldn't be any heel toward it, but he is kind of a prickly dude. He is kind of a prickly dude.
Yeah, he is. One of the reasons I fell in love with him was when he first came in, it was like, LeBron's going to have to show me he's better than me. I love that. Right. Even if you're not that good, I love that mentality.
So you think Miami's a good place for him?
I think it'd be perfect. I think if you put Bam Adebayo on this team in 2026, they might go 75-7. That's how good that team could be. Imagine adding a piece to what they did last year at center that runs the floor, blocks shots, and rebounds like a maniac. There would be no beating this team. And that's what they need. You released James Wiseman today, and it's just a bad situation at center. I wish it wasn't because of how sure we were of Miles Turner leaving being a good thing. You wish that they wouldn't struggle at center, but it's a struggle at point guard and center right now. Hey, the rest of it kind of got it covered.
Right.
Except for the two most important positions.
Yeah.
Smith's gonna get some good action and some run.
Yeah, he's been great too.
I love that guy too.
He's so good.
Oh, I love
such a professional organization. That game in Minnesota was so impressive that they just kept fighting with Ray J. Dennis and Ben Shepherd and Tommy Bradley. It's on the floor at the end of the game. They were still had a chance to win that game. Thank you, Pascal Siakam.
Yes.
And he has been that good.
I love how Aaron Nesmith came to us and that he was a throwaway. And
did we mention that Malcolm Brogdon is now retired?
If we did, we can mention it again.
That's right. Malcolm Brogdon is now retired. Remember how badly they said Richard got fleeced in that trade?
Yeah.
And by the way, it was Ben Shepherd too, was the draft pick that they used. Was Ben Shepherd. And so essentially they've got Aaron Nesmith and Ben Shepherd for a guy who's now retired. Pritchard is the best. I would never make a trade with him because I know I'm losing.
In the end, you're losing, right?
That's right.
May look good up front.
Never lost one that I've noticed. He missed a lot of draft picks, that's for sure. But he has not missed on trades that I've ever seen. I think he evaluates the NBA very well, just not college basketball quite as well. All right, guys. I hate to do this, John. First win.
Oh, I stick with that one. I don't think we win before then.
I want them to win against Milwaukee, but I think I agree. I think it's Brooklyn. I thought that the other night. I still think Brooklyn's potentially their first win.
I think they're winning on Friday. We'll
Against
see.
Atlanta?
If Nimhard returns, it
Is
changes.
the Hawks? They play the Hawks Friday?
Yeah.
So you don't think they have a chance against Dallas tomorrow?
Sure, if everything goes right and Nimhard is available, but I doubt that he's going to be. So
I think he's out. Yeah, he's out for Wednesday.
if Nimhard returns, of course they can win in Dallas, but I'm not counting on it. I'm not counting on any wins right now. And the question is, if it gets to a certain point, is it a lost season? Man, I really don't want that. Because this team, as constructed without Halliburton, can still be a really good team.
Yeah, but how many games are we going to lose trying to get everybody back? And then how big of a hole is it? You're going to have to play from deep in the – because you're going to have to play in the playing game at best scenario at this point.
Not at this point. At this point, we're only 3 games in.
Well, I understand, but look, if we're going to not have our players back till December at the earliest, full roster.
One guy.
Well, okay, but what's the – when
Connell
do we
will
have,
be back by the middle of November. They'll start coming.
You're optimistic. Well, I'm coming off this fever season where it was day to day, and then it was she's missing the whole season, and I don't trust their it looks promising. I love
enough.
I'm just saying this is where my head is.
Fair enough.
Right now I don't think it looks promising a lot, and I am hopeful. I'm hopeful that I'm wrong.
As I mentioned before, we're probably not going to have a lot of reaction podcasts right now until football season ends and the World Series ends. But once it does, we will start getting back to all our Pacers reactions, and we look forward to doing that. Definitely not tonight, definitely not Friday, but we will get back to it very soon. Thanks, guys. Central Indiana Sports Report is brought to you by DG Media, and I love Susie.